Welcome to this week's special presentation, this week titled Commit to Successful Investing for 2023. My name is Todd Schaefer. I'm the Manager of Research for VectorVest, and I'll be your presenter this evening. In addition to being the Manager of Research, I'm also one of the coaches of our Successful Investor group. Being a coach has given me a unique perspective on the challenges many of our clients face. Maybe you attended our two-day investment seminar this past weekend and were really excited about some of the opportunities we demonstrated at that event. Because VectorVest is so powerful, we provided and presented solutions for everyone: investors, swing traders, option traders, retirement strategies, etc. Within those opportunities lies a particular challenge: where to start? I picked up on something our Director of Education, Ray Clark, said during his welcoming remarks. I'll have to paraphrase, but he said something to the effect of, "We learn best when we pursue things we find interesting. But that can lead us to sampling just little bits of these ideas and never really gaining a deeper knowledge and understanding that would come with deeper study and focus." His suggestion: beyond being interested, you need to become committed to and focus on the one thing, at least at first. Bruce Lee once said, "I fear not the man who's practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times." Particularly if you're struggling as an investor, you need to become good at one thing before you start trying to do many things. Then, once you become good at one thing, if you want to do more things like options trading or whatever, then do it. But learn to invest successfully first. If you list all the ideas you want to pursue, you might notice a hierarchy. Some are more foundational, some build on those foundational ideas, and still others on top of those. I suggest after you identify where you'd like to go, assess your current level of competence. Now the path becomes easier to chart and to achieve because you're building upon your knowledge and understanding. From our founding, Dr. Bert DeLito, the creator of VectorVest, developed an investing approach that came to be known as VectorVest Simple. His objective for this approach was to consistently outperform the market, which has historically been about 10 to 15% a year. This doubles your money every 5 years or so. This systematic approach formed the basis of our successful investor methodology and coursework. Successful investing buys safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price in a rising market. In terms of establishing a foundation, let's start here. Can you consistently outperform the market over time? If so, there are probably some things you're doing right. And as a coach, I want to help you identify the things you may need to improve, but I want to focus on the things you need to start doing right, the things we teach in successful investing. This systematic approach is universal to all forms of trading and investing. It's the particulars that change for each investing approach. So all trading systems should include rules for when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. That's the principle. Do you have a system? Executing the system is as easy as executing your rules for when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. Then rinse and repeat. Having a rules-based system helps keep your emotions at bay, which will help you make better decisions. There's a circle surrounding the trading system. It's important to start with clear goals, identify effective techniques, and have a focused mindset. All three need to be aligned and integrated. If you're struggling, there's a good chance they are not. The mistake a lot of people make is to pursue an approach outside their comfort zone and abandon the approach quickly at the first sign of failure, or speed up their trading trying to make quick gains because they're trying to recover their losses. However, that's like telling a teenager to drive faster when they're struggling to learn to drive a car. The successful investing approach slows down investing. Once we establish our foundation, it's easy to scale it to your liking within your comfort zone. So let's go through it all and look at examples which I think will really help you understand the core concepts. The first thing we teach investors to do actually involves knowing when to sell. So we identify the weeds in your portfolio. We call it weeding your portfolio. In other words, weeding out the bad stocks from your portfolio like you would weed a plant out of your garden. You've got to know when to cut ties with losers in your portfolio, because if you don't, those stocks can sometimes turn into huge losses which destroy your portfolio. This should be a one-time exercise as your newly adopted trading system will keep you from holding on to losers too long in the future. Let me show you how we actually do it in the program. The best way to identify the weeds in your garden is by building a watch list of your existing positions. So we go over to the Viewers tab. In the Watch List Viewer, this is an exercise that we do every week with our coaching clients in successful investing. Here is the watch list we created this week for our weeding exercise. These are the stocks the attendees submitted for our exercise. They're sorted by default by VST descending. For the weeding exercise, we want to resort the list by RT descending. So when the RT is above 1, that means the short-term trend of the price for that stock is in uptrend. When the value is below 1, we're in downtrend, and the further you get away from the neutral line of 1, the stronger that trend. Our weeds are stocks that are in downtrend. Those that are in uptrend are doing what we want them to do. So our focus is at the bottom of the list, the low RT stocks, particularly those that have garnered a sell rating in the VectorVest system. This is where you want to focus your attention. So these are the stocks that are potentially hurting your portfolio, and a lot of folks have been carrying these weeds in their portfolio for quite some time. But like weeds in your garden, you've got to pluck these weeds out early before they kill all the good stuff. So you should revisit the reasons you bought the stock. If the stock's pulling down your portfolio, you should seriously consider closing that position. We actually teach several specific tips to look for to help make that decision easier, and I'll give you that as a resource at the end of the presentation today. But the main thing you should do is identify any stocks in your portfolio right now with an RT below 1 and decide immediately if they should be sold. Those that are allowed to stay all need to have an assigned stop loss to protect the portfolio from unlimited risk moving forward. We use the VectorVest stop price as our go-to stop loss in successful investing. Once you do the weeding, you've recapitalized the account and you have some buying power, and you're going to be ready to buy another stock for your portfolio. But before you go buying a stock, you should first ask the question of, should I even be buying? Right? You need to make sure it's the right time to be buying stocks. And yes, there are times when it's best not to be buying anything. Best times are when the market's rising. The times to not be buying is when the market's falling. Happily for us, VectorVest just happens to have a market timing system that identifies the current trends of the market across multiple time frames. It can be easy as simply reading the home page. Now remember, we're assessing the market's trend, not just its one-day performance. So our market timing gauge and the associated guidance are a reflection of the top row of information in the color guard square below it. The color guard square below can show us visually the trends of each of the indicators within the market timing system and their history. And it's very easy to read. Right? We have a majority of green and yellow lights, so we have a bullish bias in the color guard right now, and our guidance says color guard is bullish. We advocate buying safe, undervalued stocks rising in price at this time. It doesn't get much easier than that, and for successful investing, we like to look at this top left corner on the price column and make sure that we have a green light or a green light with the kicker to tell us that the trend of the market is still rising. Now that keeps it simple. Of course, with just a little bit more effort, you can get a deeper understanding of market conditions by reviewing our market timing graph. I would suggest, particularly if you're new to the VectorVest system, that you might start on the timing tab and look at our daily color guard reports, where we walk through on a daily basis our analysis of the market timing system. Bottom line, let's be buying when the overall market is in an uptrend, right up to the point we open the position. Now that we know it's a good time to be buying, what stock should we buy? Well, as successful investors, we want to focus on fundamentally sound, safe stocks that are rising in price. And of course, VectorVest makes these babies easy to find. Let's move back into the program. And all I need do is go to the Viewers tab and look at the stock viewer. The stock viewer is a giant spreadsheet of all 9,153 stocks we're currently tracking, and they're sorted by VST descending. So our VST system of analysis brings the stocks to the top of the list that have the strongest combination of upside potential, persistent or consistent financial performance, and current price trend. The best balanced analysis of those come to the top of the list, and so naturally a great place to start. So let me show you a technique that leverages the strength of that VST system. We're looking at the top 20 VST stocks from yesterday's close. Let's graph them all. And I'm going to choose a graph layout called VectorVest Simple. VectorVest Simple, the layout includes these parameters. And I'm going to simplify the graph a little bit. I'm going to take off RT, we'll take off the VectorVest stop price, and I'll delete that line. So now we have on our graph the price history for the stock over a 1-year time frame, daily candlesticks, and on the subgraph the earnings per share data from the VectorVest program over the last year. And we're going to favor stocks whose price action goes bottom left to upper right with persistence. The smoother the better. And we want that price action to be driven by earnings performance that's going bottom left to upper right. Smoother the better. So we're visual beings and we're very good at picking up on these patterns very quickly. And so what I want to do, just to prove it to you, we're going to look at these graphs. I'm going to cycle through 20 graphs. And I'm going to let you look at them for 3 seconds each. If you like the graph pattern, if you think it's smooth and steady, bottom left to upper right, write down the symbol. If you don't like it or you're not sure, it's a no. I want you to trust your gut for this exercise. Don't overanalyze it. CPRX, for me, is a pretty good looking graph, steadily higher, driven by steadily rising earnings. So let's begin. CPRX. Next, ACLS, SMCI, VOC, MOD, AEHR, TH, DECK, HLX, CMC, FN, URI, AMKR, LYTS, NINE, WNC, AGYS, OII, PAM, RMBS, pencils down. So what did you think? I'm guessing there were some that you really liked and some that you really didn't. And some, I'm not really sure, right? So let's just go with the ones that you really liked. And of course, the more charts you look at, the more intuitive this process will become. But here's something I hope you noticed. How long did that take? We went through 20 charts in less than a minute. We're leaning on the power of the VST analysis and simply cherry-picking the best candidates from an already strong list of candidates. That's why it's called VectorVest Simple. We would enter positions on your favorite stocks should they continue rising with the market into the next session. And that brings us back in our process to the question of when to sell. Simply add your chosen stop loss to the position. Now, a quick word on stops. When considering a new stock for your portfolio, you want to set your stop loss far enough away from the price to give the price room to breathe, as we like to say. But you also want to control risk and provide protection against an unexpected outsized move against your position. Additionally, when these stocks move higher, you want a way to lock in some profits That way you aren't watching a winning trade turn into a loser. Our VectorVest stop price is a very smart and intuitive tool for prudent time frames. So let's take an example from those top VST stocks and apply the VectorVest stop price to it. So here's the chart of CPRX, and let's add the VectorVest stop price back to the chart. So the VectorVest stop price does a pretty good job of keeping us on the right side of the market's trend. It's giving the price room to breathe, room to pull back so that it can make its next advance without being too overly sensitive. However, when the price does pull back, it's not without limit, so we can get a sell rating when the price closes below that stop price. If I put on the recommendation profile ribbon at the top of the graph, you can see the buy, hold, and sell ratings assigned to the stock over this past 1 year period. So let's put on a date line. We'll pick up where the stock first got its buy rating. And I'm going to snap a horizontal line. Let's put that on the graph first and then go back to my date line. And if I was using the VectorVest stop price, then my initial stop loss, if I entered here, would be at the current value on that date of the VectorVest stop price. So the price was making a nice advance, kind of flattened out here a little bit, and ultimately rolled over and pulled back and garnered the sell rating when it crossed back below the VectorVest stop price. So with just that simple rule, we've defined the maximum loss that we'd be willing to accept on this trade. We can size the trade appropriately, and on this particular trade, it stopped out at that loss. Our next buying opportunity came on our next buy rating, potentially. And so we set again our stop loss at the value of the VectorVest stop price on that day. And as the price appreciated, the VectorVest stop price also started to rise. Yet you can see that the price never fell below the VectorVest stop price. If we have a method of trailing the stop price higher as the price moves higher, then we have the beginnings of a system that not only controls our maximum risk, but also helps us capture gains as we attain them. So there are a gazillion methodologies that you can use when it comes to stop losses, which makes that subject a little bit harder. But the underlying principles are we wanted to control our maximum risk, and we want to be able to capture profits as they accrue in the trade. Your first step each night should be to check your portfolio to see if any position needs to be closed or adjusted. If so, you enter that order with your broker. After that, before you go buy a stock, you want to make sure you have a signal telling you it's okay to buy stocks such as a green light in VectorVest. If you have that signal and you have room in your portfolio for another position, you should build a watch list of some good stocks to buy. Based on that list, you set up and plan out the trade. Decide your entry price, because remember, you want the stock to be rising the next day. You should also know when you'll exit the trade if it goes against you. We call that setting your line in the sand, and we like to use the VectorVest stop price. But you can also then correctly size the position to limit your risk in the trade. And finally, if you can watch the market the next day, wait at least 30 minutes to make sure the market and stock are continuing to move higher. If you can't watch the market, enter a buy stop limit order with your broker to ensure you'll only buy the stock as long as it was moving higher the next session. So let's review some lessons learned. First, all trading systems have to define when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. Plan your trades before you enter. Use stops correctly to manage risk and eliminate second guessing. These principles scale across all trading approaches, whether you're position trading, investing, swing trading, day trading, they all comprise these components. So now that we've taken the inventory, where are you in your investing journey? Have you established a solid foundation? If you'd like more help, let me share 2 resources with you. we developed a course based on the principles of successful investing, appropriately named the Successful Investor Course. We provide it to you in two formats. You might already be aware of our Quick Start course built into VectorVest. It's on the Training tab. As the name implies, it gets you up to speed very quickly on the concepts of investing successfully. Each of these recordings is about 15 to 20 minutes in duration. We started coaching our clients on this material and found from that experience that many of them wanted a deeper understanding of the topics. And so if you scroll down, you'll find that we developed the full Successful Investing course. We're currently forming a live series that's going to start in 4 days. So registration closes soon, but if you click the link, you can register for the course at this discounted rate. Of course, the discount will end soon, so don't wait too long. But we got together with Dr. DeLito, the founder of VectorVest, and developed this course, 6 weeks to steady growth instead of the quicker 60 minutes. It's designed to take you step by step through the system you need to safely and steadily grow your portfolio each year and make sure that those fundamentals are in place. The outcome you'll get from the expanded course is a complete A to Z system which shows you how to grow your account with consistency. The full Successful Investor course takes each section and dives deep. I like to say we go deep into the weeds while maintaining a laser focus on becoming a successful investor. We teach you everything you need to do step by step. You'll be very clear on the overall game plan. You'll know exactly when to buy both for the overall market and for individual stocks. You'll know exactly what to buy and how to find the stocks to fill your portfolio. You'll know exactly when to sell, whether you're locking in profits or minimizing losses. You'll know exactly how to set up your trades and manage your portfolio. You'll know exactly how to enter your trades with a broker, both to enter trades and to exit trades. Each module is pre-recorded, so you can watch them whenever it's convenient to you, as many times as you need to, but they're also supported with live mastery sessions. This is where my fellow instructor Brian D'Amico and I get together with you on a live session to cover the materials and answer any questions you have about what you just learned. Of course, there are additional resources available to you as well, and of course, everything we do is recorded, so even if you can't attend the live sessions, you won't miss out. At VectorVest, we want to help you pursue your passions, but start with a focus on the next one thing to build a foundation of success. Thanks for watching.